During our lifetime, we're proactively involved in decision making that concerns ourselves and our loved ones. And generally speaking, we want our loved ones to be happy, successful, settled, comfortable. But is that only relevant whilst you're around? Or you want them happy, comfortable, successful, irrespective of whether you're alive or not? I'm Rita, Verma, financial advisor based in the UK. Today we'll talk about wills and why they're so important.
During our lives, we accumulate wealth for our financial security and ultimately for the benefit of our loved ones. However, if you don't have a will in place, which is a legal document that gives effect to your wishes, your estate may not be distributed in accordance with your wishes. Do I need a will? Have you got minor children, and are you concerned about how they are raised? Have you got assets, and do you care about who receives them? If your answer is yes to either of those questions, get a will sorted. We spend our lives working hard and smart to accumulate wealth and normally have a vision of why we accumulate the wealth and how you'd want to distribute it. In the event of your demise, it's not necessary your estate will be passed on according to your wishes, but be based upon rules of intestacy, so the direction of your estate is predetermined by law. We want to nurture our children the way we feel would most benefit their future. How would you feel upon your demise? Not only your children have lost you, but have lost their bright future too. Your loved ones, whom you want to support, not only have lost you, but may lose their future support too. It's said over 60% of UK adults don't have a will in place. It's generally believed we all like to be in control of our lives and be there for our loved ones. So do you ignore your responsibilities if you're no longer around? There are a number of reasons why people haven't yet made a will. I haven't got round to it. Writing a will may not be your top priority. However, if circumstances change, then not having a will in place may cost your loved ones heavily. We're not born with expiry dates, so we don't know how long we're likely to live. We tend to have backup plans for other things we manage, so why not have a backup if you're no longer around? I'm too young. Are you willing to risk the law to decide how your estate is distributed? How do you feel if you were to know that your estate's not going to go to your chosen beneficiaries, or your hard-earned wealth is misused? Or your minor children no longer have the future you dreamt for them? Everyone with assets and minors need a will to ensure their wishes are fulfilled. All my assets will go to my partner. If you're not married, the law doesn't recognise the relationship. Even when you are married, your estate may not necessarily all go to your spouse because rules of intestacy will apply. Making a will is expensive. Making a will doesn't have to be expensive in today's world. You can achieve a will that's professionally made at around £150 plus VAT. The Guardian reported a couple with 2 children spend an average £90 a week on social activities. Therefore, if you forewent 2 weeks of activities, as we have done during this lockdown period, you would raise enough money to do a will to secure your family's future and ensure your loved ones are protected whether you're around or not. I don't think about dying. Agreed. However, as we don't know when the event will occur, why leave yourself open? Today you can control the future by forward planning. However, if you don't, your minors and your estate will be directed in accordance with the rules of intestacy. Depending upon who the beneficiaries are, will determine how much tax is paid. From my video on inheritance tax, you will know there are various exemptions available if you forward plan. For example, spousal transfers are exempt. However, any transfers to anyone else under rules of intestacy will count towards the inheritance tax nil rate band. And beyond the nil rate band, there will be tax implications. It's very important you have an up-to-date will to ensure your estate is transferred to your chosen beneficiaries upon your demise. Otherwise, rules of intestacy will prevail. Here's a chart showing briefly how rules of intestacy can apply. So just taking a brief look, if there's just the spouse or civil partner, the spouse or the civil partner will inherit 100% of the estate. If there's spouse or civil partner and children or grandchildren involved, 270,000 will be inherited by the spouse or civil partner, all the personal belongings, and 50% of the remaining. The other 50% will go towards the children. If there's a joint property, it will pass on to the survivor. If the property is under tenancy in common, then the rules of intestacy will apply if there's no will. If there's children and no spouse or civil partner, then everything will be divided equally amongst the children. If there's no spouse, civil partner, or children, then it'll be passed down generations. So starting with living parents, siblings, grandparents, uncles, aunts. And if there's no family, then it will be passed on to the Crown under bon voucher. State, for example, to charity or friends, that won't happen unless a will's made. If you want to be in control on how your estate's distributed, you really do need to make a will. Take control by making your will today.